I gotta say, I'm glad I don't cover the LA Kings. That is not entertaining hockey. Avs win 3-2 over the LA Kings to take their second win of the season.
Oh my goodness gracious! Wasn't in time! Score! Justice is served!
Honestly, this game felt like it was in the Avs' hands pretty much all night long. Yes, the score was close for the majority of the game, but the Avs always felt like they had it in control. And I mean, they did, right? They never trailed the game, and it took them just over 3 minutes to get the lead. Avs simply capitalizing on an early mistake here. You'll notice Brandon Saad is out with Matt Calvert, and the third forward on his line is Nathan MacKinnon, because the Avs are running 11 forwards in this game with some mix-ups of Ian Cole getting traded and a bunch of other stuff going on. Burakovsky injured a bit. Just a weird night for the lineup, but Nathan MacKinnon's on a shift with these two, and Drew Doughty just tries to throw it up the wing, never sees MacKinnon, who just steps right in, takes a puck, and all of a sudden, the Avs are going offensively while the Kings are all moving to try and go offensively as well. Not a good look for the Kings here as MacKinnon's able to walk in, gets not only Doughty to commit to him, but the high forward as well. Matt Calvert, he knows how to get to the open areas. He does so, and he knows Nathan MacKinnon is good enough to slide him a puck through. So he's going to get it, he's going to shoot it, and he does beat Cal Peterson, but you can't really see it because of the defenseman. His puck is in behind. Was not going to go into the net if not for Brandon Saad, who beats his man in positioning. Wow, that is a terrible circle. Quality job, Rudo. And beats him with his stick. A tap-in goal from some solid work. So the Avs go up 1-0, and honestly, both teams seem to shift it into, well, let's move on mode. Shots were pretty darn even throughout the entire game, but the quality was heavily favoring the Avs. It was pretty clear, at least based on the advanced metrics, that the Avs are just a strictly better team than LA. Maybe you'd have liked to see the Avs go for the throat a little bit more early in this game, but honestly, the Kings just weren't much of a threat. They had 9 shots on goal in the first period, and I don't think a single one was really that scary. They had maybe one solid offensive zone shift, but the Avs were kind of just in cruise control, not worried about the Kings at all, even if it was a 1-goal lead. The only time where it really seemed like there was any danger for the Avs was near the beginning of the second period, which starts off with our first goal that is actually not a goal of the season. A nice play by Taze, sprung Mac and Mikko on a 2-on-1 situation. Not going to break it down because none of that actually matters because this doesn't count. But MacKinnon is able to shoot a puck on net. Peterson struggles with it in the glove. It bounces off of his glove and over him in behind. Not too different from the first goal. Mikko, the man crashing here, he just kind of goes in, gets a little bit tied up with the defender, and as the puck is trickling towards the net, ends up crashing into Peterson. Puck is clearly still live here. Look, Mikko has the right to play the puck, but he does kind of just collapse into the net as it just kind of results in chaos. Peterson mostly in the net, defenseman off to the side, Mikko still sliding in. He starts celebrating like he's scored. So here's another back angle of it. You can see the puck coming loose here. This is Mikko coming in and crashing the net. As they come in, not really any contact with the defender up here. So far, it's pretty clean. I think Mikko mostly just kind of falls over as he's crashing into the net. Puck hasn't crossed the line yet. In fact, Peterson actually gets a piece of this, and it starts to kick back out before anything else happens. Mikko is swinging at the puck right now, but is not able to get it. Again, you can still see the puck. Puck is still clearly loose here. So this is a live play. The puck stays loose as Mikko swings for it, and it ends up kicking off of Iafallo's skate. I'm not even convinced Mikko actually touches this puck ever, as it just kind of drifts into the net. Maybe it bounced off of his leg or something. It ends up being a no-goal. We're not really specific on why, but did not cross into the net legally. There's another back angle you can see of them crashing in. I mean, I don't know. It's a goalie interference. That's just a tough one. Do I think it should be a goal? I mean, by the rule book, yeah, I think it should. The players have a right to chase after a loose puck and try and win it. At the same time, you don't want players running in and crashing into a goaltender. So I understand where they want to call this goalie interference, or at least not a legal goal. Not going to complain. Guys sliding in, especially skates first into a goalie, can lead to some scary situations. So It doesn't count. Avs are still up 1-0. No harm, no foul, really. What was disappointing about this no-goal call was the momentum swing. It obviously energized the Kings, but after that goal, it felt like the Avs kind of got stuck in first gear. Their offense disappeared almost entirely, and they were mostly just weathering the storm defensively against LA. The good news there is, even in that situation, LA didn't put up very many quality chances, but still, the Avs could have played better for the first half of the second period. Nonetheless, the Avs survived that time, including killing off a penalty, and then the gap between these two teams start to show. Through the middle of the second period, the Kings just kind of go on a parade to the penalty box because they simply cannot hang with the Avalanche. And because Tim Peel made at least one extremely questionable call, but that specific power play did not result in a goal, so whatever. And so far this year, the Avs power play has been money. And tonight was no different. Sam Girard and Devon Toews have something special going on that second unit. Firstly, a smooth entry by Comfer here. Credit there. That was something the second power play unit struggled with quite a bit. Did give him plenty of space. But take what you can get. Drops it to Donskoy, who eventually is going to get it back to the defenseman at the point here. Toews quickly over to Sam Girard, and this looks identical to a goal that they scored against the St. Louis Blues as well. Girard gets this one. Once he has the puck, he walks into the space given to him, gets both the high man and the second man to commit to him before dropping the puck back to Toews with this little backhand behind the back, little droppy drop move that gives Toews enough room to step into one, which he does, and beats Peterson short side. Toews, a real threat to score from the point on the power play, is the perfect complement to Sam Girard working up high. Just functions so well. Girard able to be the distributor, pressure in, get it back to the man who can shoot the puck, someone you can rely on a little bit more to get shots through and a legitimate scoring threat from out there. It's a match made in heaven. One power play goal is fun, but two is better. So the Avs get another power play and score another one just a few minutes later. The recipe to a top power play unit goal. Nazem Kadri wins a faceoff. That's a check mark. A little bit of a sloppy one, but Landy helps him out a bit here to get it back up to the point. Cale Makar touches the puck. That one is also going to be a big check mark. He's going to get it back to Landeskog, who touched the puck earlier, but we'll give him this one as well. The three-headed monster, now touching the puck. Check one, down to McKinnon. Check two. McKinnon's already released this, by the way, just so you know. The one-touch, one-time pass across through. Was it intended for Kadri? I mean, possibly, but boy, it sure seems like he meant to send this one to Rantanen, who is sitting over here, all alone, in his favorite circle in the world. Kadri also, by the way, got knocked over, interference in front. The Avs are going to get another power play, because why not? And Mikko just blasts this one home, as Mikko does from the circle. GG 3-0. When you're hot, you're hot. I mean, all five Avs touch the puck there. They score a pretty darn easy goal. Ride the power play this good as long as you possibly can, because it's out of control right now. Nathan MacKinnon's 500th career point, by the way. He's only 25. He's stuck in that no man's land of Avalanche history between the big three and everybody else, so it's going to be a little bit before he starts breaking records, but give it a couple seasons and that will come. Avs up 3-0. They have the rest of the California road trip ahead of them. I do think they packed it in a little bit in the third period, but let's be honest, they can get away with doing that against LA right now. Don't really have a good lip read for you tonight. Unfortunately, they just didn't capture much. There was a good conversation between McKinnon and Bednar, but Bednar with a mask on. Couldn't really tell what he was saying. Fun little one here. Didn't catch all of it, but Drew Doughty, well-known trash talker. Kadri having none of it. Sitting in the face-off circle, he just says, try me. Try me. He wants none of it, man. He's ready to take on Drew Doughty. Drew Doughty, by the way, a -1 with no points and a negative Corsi player for the Kings at 5-on-5, so not a great night for him. The cracks do show a little bit. Maybe would have liked to see one more goal before the Avs really packed it in, and the Kings do take a bit of advantage and make it a game again about 8 minutes into the third. A little bit of everything going on in this play. The Kings are going to rim this down the near boards, and you're going to see the Avs way overcommit. All five players deep onto that side of the ice, so they have to scramble back a little bit to the other side as the Kings collect down in deep. And things just kind of get weird. The puck starts bouncing around, some sloppiness happens from the Kings, and it eventually dribbles back out to the point, which causes the Avs to be caught a little bit out of position as Athanasiou is able to collect it and walk in a little bit. Makar gets caught in no man's land a touch, I guess. I can't even really call it no man's land. The Avs just run their defense where they like their defenseman to play for a block shot. So that's what he does here. The bigger problem is Saad. Saad is completely out of this play. Kind of just coasts back into the play here, right? Probably not super sure. Does he need to cover the short side for the man crashing in deep? Well, no, because that man crosses all the way through to Ryan Graves, so really would have liked him to see him pressure Athanasiou a little bit more here, force him to rush it a little bit or something. Doesn't work out, but credit where credit's due at the end of the day. This is an unreal shot from Athanasiou, and he just beats Grubauer up over the shoulder. Not ideal, but you're not particularly worried about that one either. You can kind of just shrug it off. They're still up 3-1, just get through the rest of the third clean, and this is a non-factor. And that is what happens until there's about 6 minutes left in the third. Nazem Kadri gets called for a high-sticking penalty. Really, the exact type of penalty you don't want to take in this situation. That's the type of things that lets teams back into games. It is what happens here. Ultimately, the Avs end up getting away with it, but something that is easy to point out, something that needs to be cleaned up. A slow start all around for Kadri so far in these first 3 games. When you give teams an opportunity, all it takes is a funny bounce, as this puck is going to come to Kopitar, and he's going to walk into some space that's given to him. Comfort deciding to play passive here. This is honestly fine. The Avs mark their players pretty well here. I don't really have a problem with how they played this PK. You get Timmins, defenseman, stepping out, and then Taves, the man on the guy in deep. They all cover their lanes. Everything's great. The puck tries to come through, but Brown can't handle it. It ends up pinging off of his skate. Unfortunately, it pings right to a wide-open Adrian Kempe. You just shake your head. Sometimes the bounces don't go your way. Even still, Grubauer, a great effort, gets a piece of this one, almost bails the Avs out, but it ends up in the back of the net. Avs first goal relinquished on the penalty kill, and it was quality play. Nothing you can do there. They're still up by 1. That's why you score 3 goals, I guess. While it is a game, one play can change things. Even then, honestly, this one felt pretty over. In the last 5 minutes, the Kings never really even got that much dangerous pressure on the Avs. Grubauer made a few solid saves, but they didn't have to be spectacular. He just needed to do the routine job, and he did. The Avs probably should have made it 4-2. They had some wide open looks at the empty net that they simply just missed, bafflingly, for no reason. I think Kadri had a great one that he missed. Landeskog got a good one too. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. The final score is 3-2, and the Avs win. Plenty to be cleaned up, but this was a pretty easy win for the Avalanche. Probably not the last one of those of the season as well. You take the dub and move on to the next one. Try to do it again Thursday night. That is the end of this game video review. Thank you for watching. Of course, you can check out all of our post-game coverage and content at thednvr.com. All sorts of cool articles over there. I am Rudo, and take it, man. Wins are wins.
Avalanche time, come on.